What's good, everybody? What's good? So in this video, you guys, I wanted to do basically a quick little review over what happened with the man in Florida that got jumped on by the police, that was assaulted by the police, punched in the face, jumped on, dragged out of the car, and his tooth knocked out by the police. I wanted to do a review of that and the conference that he just had about the situation. So you see this video and then a video of him and his lawyers and his family supporting him, talking about what happened on that day. So let's get into it.
Vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands. Here. Can you pull that
Violent moments captured on camera during a traffic stop in Jacksonville, Florida. This February video going viral after driver William McNeil Jr., who filmed it inside of his car, posted it Sunday, drawing swift reaction since. It shows an interaction with police already in progress, including the moment an officer breaks McNeil's window and strikes him in the face.
Can you call your supervisor? All right, go for it. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands. Here.
But the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says that the video doesn't tell the whole story.
Social media is not reality. One video clip, devoid of context, can be very misleading.
The sheriff tonight releasing officer-worn body camera footage showing McNeil pulled over for driving without headlights in the rain. They say he wouldn't provide his license and registration. You can hear officers repeatedly warning McNeil that if he did not comply with getting out of the vehicle, they would break his window and put him under arrest.
Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. What is your reason?
The sheriff says none of the involved officers violated criminal law, but an administrative review is ongoing.
Yes, there absolutely was force used by the arresting officers, and yes, that force is ugly. And just because force is ugly does not mean it's unlawful.
NBC News has not spoken to McNeil directly, but his lawyer says he's still recovering.
His teeth actually went through his lip when he was slammed to the ground. So he's still recovering and dealing with those injuries.
His attorney says they plan on filing a lawsuit. Marissa Parra, NBC News.
So they say no criminal actions were done during this traffic stop, and that's a lie. That's a bald-faced lie. And why on the body cam of the officer, why was the video edited? Why was the video all chopped up like that? Why didn't they show the whole video? Why didn't they show the cop busting out the man's window? Because it was aggressive and it was obsessive force. And they were wrong, and they cut that part out. Like, oh, we can't keep that in there. Let's chop it up. And they'll only show the part where we dragged him out of the car, so it make it look like he wasn't complying. Man, I wouldn't have opened my car door either for them. That's all the police like to do, is abuse their authority, man. I hate that. I hate that about the police. That's why I don't respect no police. So it was another video that I wanted to show you guys as well, because I just think it's crazy. This is the video with the man talking.
Big crash for Brazil in the second Grand Prix of the season in Auckland. Once more, the Brazilians finish.
This morning, the man in a viral Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrest video is now speaking out for the first time. Good morning, I'm Bethany Reese. William McNeil Jr. and his attorneys are now at a local church in Ribault. Let's listen in.
Drop no suspended license. That entire stop was not just pretextual, racial motivated. It was unlawful. And everything that stemmed from that stop.
And you know what? This happened in Jacksonville, Florida. I've been to Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville, Florida is racist, because the people I was staying with was racist. But they, bless God that they were kind to me, because I was staying with my friend and he happened to be a white boy. And we went to visit his dad in Florida. My friend wanted a friend to go with him, and he picked me to go with him. So I went with him, and the dad girlfriend was the one that told me. She said, "Come here, I want to tell you something. You know, such and such father is one of the most racist families in Jacksonville." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she was like, they're one of the most racist people out here. And she didn't say it in like, "Oh, you better watch out" and all that. Like, I think she was just letting me know who I was around, letting me know, you know, who what type of people were surrounding me. But the dad showed love to me. He even threatened to beat up some dude that was about to run me and his son over when we were going out to eat. And the man was in a rush, and he looked like he was about to hit us or something. And the dad bent down in the car, was like, "I'm about to whoop your ass." So the man showed love to me. But I know that woman wasn't lying, because I just seen signs after that, and talking to the grandparents. I seen the signs that they probably were a little racist. But again, they were very kind to me. So I was like, hey, I don't take it by heart as long as they not doing nothing to me. You know, because I was with that family. Would I be like, "Oh, y'all racist"? You feel me? I was just like, hey, they treat me good. That's all I care about, and getting back home safe. You feel me? So, but I know Jacksonville to be racist. But my friend, he wasn't racist. He didn't grow up like that. He didn't even know his father like that. That was like their first interaction in a long time, I guess. And you know, he just so happened to bring me with him. And yeah, my friend wasn't racist at all. But I know Jacksonville to be a racist place, and that's unfortunate that this happened to that man.
Was unlawful. What we're not going to do this morning is get in the back and forth between the leaders of Jacksonville. What we're going to do, we're going to focus on the facts. And everybody saw the video. You can release all the body cameras you want, but the body camera, the cell phone footage was unedited. It's a reality. You can talk about a knife bit in the car, but it was not a weapon, because he did not weaponize it. He stayed calm. The only weapon that day was a Jacksonville sheriff office. The nation saw it. Everybody saw it. And we are here for redress and get justice for the McNeil family. Amen. Nothing more, nothing less. William have a long road to recovery to go. I'm not going to get in his injuries. You see pictures of things online, but William attended Lipscomb College, band scholarship. His president is here today. So this narrative, they always have this narrative being, you know, he was a thug. Right. He was a criminal. Yeah. That's the narrative. Yes, sir. But William was doing everything. William was doing everything right. Everything. A college student, on scholarship, doing what's required of him to be a better person. And all he did was exercise his fundamental rights, his God-given rights, to answer a simple question. Why are you stopping me? For not having headlights on during the day? Did y'all see the video where the officers came with no headlights on? No windshield wiping? No smoke? No fog? No rain? So anybody would be confused. Why are you stopping me? And he exercised their right to answer that question, and they bullied him, intimidated him, broke his window, and beat him and caused permanent injuries. Look, I'm going to step aside. We got a lot of folks up here to get a chance to speak. Here, we'll come back for a Q&A, but we'll have a limited Q&A with William. His parents is here. Solomon, Latoya, and his stepfather, Alton, is here as well, wearing the red. Next, I'm going to bring up my good friend, my colleague, Turner Bid. We home here in Florida, so I had to bring him home. Man, Crump, come on.
Thank you so very much, Attorney Harry Daniels. I'm honored to co-counsel with you and Attorney Keith and all of these great lawyers, Attorney Jackson and Attorney Robinson, because this is a very, very important case. As Attorney Daniels said, when William was stopped, there was no rhyme or reason, no rationale for them stopping him. I mean, this was a classic case of driving while black. And
Tester Up is a scam. I only made $81. Okay.
And I applaud William McNeil for keeping his demeanor, his calmness. I mean, Attorney Daniels, I thought the trained police officers were supposed to be the ones to de-escalate the matter. They were the ones escalating the matter while this young man represented the best of us. He kept calm. He was trying to de-escalate the matter. He just kept asking simply, why are you stopping me? I mean, think about that. I understand the sheriff said anti-police. No. It's not anti-police when an American citizen asks, why are you stopping me? That is an American citizen exercising his constitutional rights. That's what William was doing. He was exercising his constitutional rights. And Attorney Daniels and I seek to remind America that we are a democracy, that we believe in the Constitution, and that all American citizens have a right to the protections of the Constitution, that this is not a police state where the police are above the law and that they have no accountability. No, the last time I checked, America is still a democracy, and our citizens still have a right to the Constitution. It goes without saying that the leaders now have to step up and be leaders. Look at that video. Look at that video with your own eyes. Listen with your own ears. We have audio, visual evidence, proof of what happened. Nobody has to narrate it for us. To the sheriff, respectfully, you can't justify this. You can't condone this. You have to condemn this. You have to look at that video and say, this does not reflect our training, our policies, or our values. And you need to terminate that officer immediately. Because as Attorney Daniels and I deliberated over this matter, if you don't terminate this officer and you condone this type of police excessive force, then it sends a message to all of the other police officers on the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office team. It tells them it is okay for you to treat citizens like this. It is okay to treat black motorists like this. In America, it is not okay. It is not okay to treat our citizens like this. I know you're going to hear from his mother and father before you hear from William, but Attorney Daniels and I were astonished to hear his father, Alton Solomon, say, when I was 22 years old, the sheriff's department did a similar thing to me. They put me face down on the ground at gunpoint. And it wasn't right then, Mr. Solomon, and it wasn't right when they did it to William. It's never right to treat citizens like this. America, we're better than this. We're at a crossroads. We are a democracy. We believe in the Constitution. We are not a police state where the police can do anything they want to citizens without any accountability. We have to hold everybody accountable. That is what makes America the great beacon of hope and justice for the rest of the world to marvel. Thank you, Attorney Daniels.
Thank you, Ben. Real quick, just a reminder, this is it's a culture of the Jacksonville Sheriff Office. I've represented several people down here, names such as Jamie Johnson, LaKen Wood, so y'all remember was vicious beaten by the Jacksonville Sheriff Office. And you know, the common denominator, Jamie Johnson, they stopped him for a seatbelt violation. LaKen Woods, they stopped him for a seatbelt violation. And they tried to say they stopped Mr. McNeil for a seatbelt violation, but the video showed he had his seatbelt on. Listen, next person gonna bring up Attorney Griggs and Attorney Keefe real quickly to say some words. We're gonna bring in Dr. Davis, the president of Livingston College. Real quick.
Attorney Gerald Griggs, Gerald Griggs, and I am a civil rights attorney in Atlanta. And when I saw the video of what happened to Mr. McNeil, I was aghast. It was horrific for somebody who was simply exercising their Fourth Amendment rights to ask for a supervisor as to why he was being pulled over, and to see the video on multiple angles of him not resisting, his hands up, and for him to be punched in his face after breaking the glass, ripped out onto the floor, onto the ground, and then beaten is atrocious anywhere in America. But Florida has a police brutality problem.
Were you born between 1980 and 1989? If so, you can get $250 to spend at McDonald's completely free.
Anywhere in America. But Florida has a police brutality problem. It's had a police brutality problem for a long time. And so as a native of the state of Georgia, whose mother is from Jacksonville, I know far too well of the brutality here in Jacksonville. And so what we are calling for is justice. This is not a war on police. This is about justice and accountability for everyone. Amen. So to the sheriff, if you're truly about law and order, you need to turn the law and order on that officer that brutalized Mr. McNeil. Because let's be clear, in this country, nobody's above the law. Nobody can violate the Constitution and not have consequences. And so it's incumbent upon everyone to understand that this could have been us. This could have been me. This could have been you. But for William's calm nature, his ability to de-escalate, his ability to remain calm. So I was talking in the back and somebody reminded me of some of the heroes of the civil rights movement and how they remained calm when they suffered those brutal indignations. And that harkens back to what William did. He held his hands up. He remained calm. He took a punch without retaliating. What more would you want? They say he was resisting. Resisting what? The punch to his face? How was he resisting? By putting his hands up? We all give our children the talk, and he mastered the talk. So now the ball is in law enforcement's court. What more would you have someone do other than ask and exercise their constitutional rights? This is atrocious. We need justice and accountability. We need that officer held accountable, and I'm honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with William, Attorney Ben Crump, Attorney Harry Daniels, and all of the lawyers that are behind this. But now we need America to send a message. Y'all saw the video, 20 million views. It's time for 20 million people to contact the sheriff and say you need to do something.
Jason, Keith, I would like to say a couple of things. We're not going to take a lot of your time. First of all, I'm blessed and honored to be here to assist Mr. Daniels, Mr. Crump, Mr. Griggs, Mr. Covington. I'm out of Greensboro, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina. And we flew in because this case is important. It represents everything we stand for. I've stood toe-to-toe with Mr. Daniels and Mr. Crump and these matters. And we just don't want them to be any more matters like this. We won't change. And I think that the most important part about this is at this stage, I think we've had a lot of conversations about Mr. McNeil and how he responded. But the question is now is how is Jacksonville, Florida going to respond? That's the question. I mean, as we look and we see our youth and we try to give an understanding of what to do in these encounters, what happens when we do all the right things and it still turns out wrong? What happens next? How do we turn the page? How do we make it to where you don't have to fly all these people in to fight for something that should have never happened in the first place? And so I would like to say a couple things. I would like to say, first, I'm honored to be here, and we are here to fight for you. And we're going to fight, and we're going to stay as long as it takes. We'll fly it every time we need to. I'll come back. We'll come back. But we want accountability, and we want it at all levels. And we don't want this to be a situation of swept underneath the rug, because if not, it's going to happen to somebody else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Keith and Attorney Griggs. It is not lost on us, as Attorney Daniels said, that William represented the best we had to offer. He had never been arrested, never been convicted of any crime. And you can see from everything that happened on the video, he was a very measured young man. And he was trained at a historically black college and university of Livingston College in North Carolina. And it exemplified the best that our children are. You know, when you think about this moment, this truly is what he exhibited was a 21st century Rosa Parks moment, where an African American had the audacity to say, I deserve equal justice under the law. I deserve to be treated like a human being with all the respect that a human being is entitled to. And we can only imagine, had he not been filming that video, what the narrative would have been. And I guess as Attorney Daniels told me, no, we know what the narrative would have been, because he said they didn't know he was filming, and so they wrote these reports that were completely contradicted by the video. And so, God knows you're going to hear from his mother and father in a minute. I can't think of what black mothers must feel when they watch that video. It's hard, if you're not a black mother, to fathom how much you have to pray every time your child leaves the house that they don't become the next hashtag. Well, he's a hashtag, and thank God he's here, because he represents the best of us. Livingston College and HBCUs around America can be proud of William McNeil Jr. Yeah. And President Anthony Davis, the president of Livingston College, who, like Attorney Daniels and I, are a great Omega man. Tell the story. Did not think it robbery to come and stand with his student to let them know that all the HBCU family stands with them. So we're going to hear from this great leader.
He's not just a horse. He's a dragon horse. I've got school tomorrow. Frankie's dragon horse. And the best
know that all the HBCU family stands with them. So we're going to hear from this great leader, President Anthony Davis.
Woods are lovely, dark and deep, but we have miles to go before we sleep, and miles to go before we sleep, and miles to go before we sleep. Meaning that, guess what? We have a lot of work to do. My name is Dr. Anthony J. Davis. I am the 13th president of Livingstone College, an HBCU in Salisbury, North Carolina, where Will, that is my affectionate term for him, Will attends. A biology major who volunteers to play in the marching band. A biology major, not a music major, a biology major that volunteers to play in the marching band. A volunteer in the marching band, an academic student in biology, but also spends time on the weekends being a servant Like Dr. King said, all of us can be great because all of us can serve. This young man will volunteer on the weekends helping young men and women who don't have the funds to get their cars repaired. He'll find a little corner with a shade tree and he'll go ahead and he'll help students from that old hymn book, if I can help somebody. As I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that they're traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. But we see in that video that his rights were violated.
Yes, they were.
You know, but he showed us restraint. He showed us a little resolve, showed us resistance.
Yes.
But you know what he's showing us today by standing here tall and strong? That he's resilient, which means he's going to bounce back. And so, my appeal, first of all, I want this family to know that the entire Blue Bear Nation stands with Will. Mm-hmm. We stand with you. Mm-hmm. And we believe in what Dr. King said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Just know this. There are consequences, and repercussions for your actions. Mm-hmm. On my campus, I haven't had a fight since I've been president in 3 years. You know why? My students know that any act of violence, there are consequences and repercussions. They know that they go home. At minimum, the sheriff who assaulted Will needs to go home.
Get him out of there.
We come over.
Hello, I'm Latoya Solomon. I'm Williams McNeil's mother. He's my firstborn. He's also my only son. I have 4 children. He is the only boy. I have 3 girls. The day I seen that video, I couldn't finish it past the window breaking. It wasn't until maybe a few months ago I finally finished the whole video. But I'm thankful to God for protecting him because I know what the outcome could have been. But I believe in faith in God. It's what protected my only son. And I thank God for that.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Alton Solomon, the father, stepfather, but I can't call him my stepson because this is my son.
Yes, sir.
I've been through what he's been through. To see that video made me go back to the moment when I was 22. It hurted. It made me upset. But I seen what my son did that I had to do. And he sat right. And he did right. To see that it's a hurting feeling. To be a father that loved God first. And to see all my kids not being able to wake up in the morning and get a phone call saying your child is gone. That's a hurting feeling, but I thank God.
Yes.
Because God got him.
Yeah.
Y'all keep this in mind.
William just gonna make a few remarks before we go to Q&A, and keep this family in prayer because, as his mother and father both said, they knew he could have been the next hashtag. It could have been a different result had he not kept his demeanor.
First of all, I want to thank God for bringing everybody here together, and thank y'all for support.
Man. If
you're worried about testing CTV ads for your business, listen up. With Roku's new self-service ad tool, it's easy to set up your own CTV campaign.
That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I knew I didn't do nothing wrong. I was really just scared. And that's it.
Okay, and that's enough, William.
Yeah.
Justice for William McNeil.
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 We have to stand up for our children. We have to speak up for our children, and we have to fight for our children. If we don't fight for our children, nobody else is going to fight for our children. That's what Attorney Daniels, our legal team, we have vowed to fight for justice for William McNeil. And we're going to...
And like, you guys, you can see like the emotion behind this is very much still like lingering in their lives. They said he had to deal with permanent injuries that he went through during that traffic stop, during that beat down that they gave him. Because that's what it was. Let's be real. They beat that man down for no reason. For no reason. All because he was a black man. I don't care what nobody say. Oh, it's not a matter of race. You that's saying that probably not even black. And if you are black saying that, you don't know what it's like to be in that situation because you ain't never been in it. So I don't care what nobody say. This is a matter between, I know it's spiritual, but these are racist spirits. And they beat him up because he was racist. Because they was racist. They beat him up because they was racist. The cops were wrong. And you could see the effects on him. Like his tooth was knocked out. One of his look like attorneys on the video, the first video, she said his tooth went into his lip when he got slammed on the ground. And it looked like he lost his tooth. It looked like he got to get an implant or something now, and he's still going through recovery from those injuries. Who else? Who knows? Oh, they said he had a concussion. I get they said the man had a knife in the car and stuff like that, but he didn't weaponize that knife. They didn't even know it was in there till they checked his car. But he didn't pull it out on them. He wasn't aggressive with them. There was no reason for that cop to punch that man, for them to drag him out of the car. They did me the same way, only they didn't punch me, but might as well because they was very aggressive, very violent. And he kept his cool because with me, I wasn't cool. I wasn't cool with how they did me. They heard my mouth, and if I was a male, they knew I was a woman, they probably would have unalived me too. They probably would have unalived me because I was very hostile, because they were hostile. And I know that's not the way to handle the situation, but when a cop rolling up on you like that, the odds are against you anyway. So I'm like, if you're going to take it there, because you're going to be judged in the end for what you're doing. So I just look at it as it's a spiritual matter. You got to leave it to God. And God did preserve him, because them cops could have took it to that level and try to unalive that man for no reason. But God was with them. And I see that his family is believers in God. So that's always a good thing.
We need all of y'all fighting with us. Everybody.
Tell them to identify themselves, man.
And so we're going to have a few questions and answers from the media. And if you could identify yourself when you ask your question from the media. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure.
Can you identify yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm with WJXC, Mr. Jax. I don't know if William can answer this or not, but I know that incident happened in February. What gave courage to share the video now?
Attorney Daniels.
That's a great question. We was very afraid. Even after the arrest and going in for the first appearance and making a decision to take a plea that he should not have taken a plea to. He was suffering from concussion. That should have been identified by the courts. But to answer your question, he experienced a traumatic incident where a sworn officer who taken an oath to uphold the law broke the law and beat him. So he's very afraid. He didn't know what could be the consequences or repercussions of presenting. But he, with his faith in his family and speaking with his legal team, he decided to move forward in this matter, particularly that it's not just about William McNeil. It can be somebody else tomorrow. And that's what drove him to come forward.
I would simply say this. Thank God he recorded that video. Thank God he recorded that video. Yeah. I mean, when you think about all the young people should be recording these interactions with law enforcement, because what it tells us, just like with George Floyd, if we don't record the video, we can see what they put in the police report with George Floyd before they realized the video existed. Right. And now we see what they put in the police report before they realized William McNeil video existed. So everybody, make sure you keep recording all of these interactions with law enforcement.
Right.
Elaine Quijano with CBS News. I wonder, it was said earlier, we all give our children talk, and he mastered the talk. William, are you able to share what you were taught growing up about police encounters, and how did that come into play in the video?
Basically, what I was taught is to, instead of fighting them on the street where we don't have power at, fight them in the courts.
Amen.
That's right. It's been talked about your composure in that moment. What was going through your mind during that encounter?
So there's a lot. There's a lot going through.
But Jake's no man actually is Jack's. The sheriff has basically said if the complaint had been filed before this would have come to light earlier.
I go first. Okay, you go first. Let's go first. Yeah, you come too.
They determined that the police officers were resolved that
you got interviewed by the state attorney. No.
He was never interviewed by State Attorney Melissa Nelson's office. Never once did they talk to this young man. And I would assume they saw the body cam video from the police department, and they said, well, no problem. They saw everything that America is seeing, and they said, no problem. And that is the problem. That is the problem.
That's a great question.
It's a boo. Better than a do.
That's a great question. So in the report, it talks about force was used. The sheriff said if force is used, that his people will review it, the body camera footage, and as such. As Attorney Crump said, that the state's attorney's office, how can you make a conclusion that there's no criminality in the face of, if a picture's worth 1,000, a video worth 10,000? A million. But more importantly, as an ambassador of justice, that's the job of a prosecutor, to seek the truth. Did not even come and speak to the victim in the case. I know where I'm from in Georgia, Gerald, the prosecutor usually talk to the victim because they have victim rights. Mm-hmm. How can you make a determination of no criminality before you even get a chance to talk to Ms. McNeil? What I believe it was a, and I'm going to say it, a whitewashing. Whitewashing. Yeah. But for that video, we would not be here. And we thank God that Ms. McNeil had the courage to record.
Yeah. And let me address the first part of your question about why he didn't make internal complaint. You watch that video. What is alarming to me is that there are several officers on the scene. And they seem like it was business as usual. It is. And so, how can you trust a system like that to say, oh, who are you going to report the police to? The police? That's why we believe you need an independent investigation separate from the state attorney's office here in Jacksonville, Florida. We do not believe that is an independent investigation. I know several citizens have said they believe a conflict of interest arises with the state attorney and the sheriff's office in Jacksonville. A person who is unbiased looking at this video sees William as a victim. Unfortunately and apparently, the state attorney or the sheriff's department never saw William as a victim. They only saw him as a perpetrator, a criminal. The worst that they would define a person. But we saw the best in William. We see the best in our children, just like you see the best in your children. This is about driving while black. We don't believe they ever would have done that had this been a young white citizen.
Go ahead. I have a couple questions. Corey. My name is Will Brown. I work for Jacksonville today. Okay. First, as someone who's named William, do you prefer Will or William? Will? Secondly, Mr. McNeil, when you immediately requested a supervisor, what was it that had you feel uncomfortable to the point of immediately saying, I would like a supervisor? Was there something about the officer's conduct or the way that the stop happened that immediately led you to say, I would like a supervisor?
So one thing that the sheriff released some videos, and according to William, there's another video, another officer's there. They didn't release this video. Officer had him at gunpoint. So now you're at gunpoint, and they telling you for not having headlights on, you better ask for a supervisor.
So the request, the gunpoint, you were at gunpoint?
Not initially, but he was continuing to request for us. It was off the camera. You couldn't see it. According to William, he was being held at gunpoint by one of these officers. So the fact remains that this video shows what happened from the initial assault, and the body camera showed the initial interaction. But at the same time, what's your name? Will. What we're talking about is somebody getting pulled over for not having headlights on during the day. That's suspicious within itself. You know, I've been black my whole 44 years. You know, if somebody's telling me they pulling me over not having headlights on and it's day outside and no rain and anything, I'm concerned. What are you really pulling me over for? Can you bring your supervisor to the scene? And that was his response. Over right here. Your media?
Yeah,
okay. Yes, ma'am.
I'm on the beat with Hot 106.5 Radio, a Cox Media news station. Action News Jax is our news partner. Can I ask a follow-up to what Will was asking? Have you all identified who that officer was that held them at gunpoint? And then my actual question is about William's recovery. What is it that he's recovering from his injuries, if you can answer?
So they had him at gunpoint. I definitely wasn't getting out the car. If they had him at gunpoint, I definitely was not getting out the car. I wasn't rolling down my window. No, bring your officer in command. I'm not getting out no car so y'all can shoot and beat me up. But they beat him up anyway. Bless God they didn't shoot him.
At this point, we think it's more appropriate that the Jacksonville Sheriff's Department identify the officers. We don't want to speculate. If they're proud of the conduct on the video, then they should release the officers' names. I'm going to have Attorney Daniels talk about Williams' recovery and the symptoms that he experienced. I mean, this was a horrific, brutal encounter. Did y'all see where they was knocking his head against the concrete while he was in handcuffs?
So, not to go too much into, William actually suffered permanent injuries. You can see he had a fractured tooth. His tooth actually went through his lip where he had to endure stitches, a closed head injury. He was concussed, and he's still on evaluation from doctors at this time. Dr. Davis knows William as a president of Livingstone Colleges, and he can see the cognitive decline. So this is a long recovery for him. These are things that we are ensure that he get the help that he need, so he can get back on track.
All right. Yeah. Let me say this on that there, if you could, and I want you to say anything here. Let William just stand, because I noticed this morning. His teeth was actually broke. When you still see it there, can you just use? I mean, this was a violent encounter. His tooth went into his lip, and he has stitches all on his lips. I mean, this is not good policing. Nobody can say this is good policing.
And it wasn't just one officer. When William was on the ground, it was multiple officers hitting him.
It was
Put his head into the concrete. So one officer may have been suspended or take police powers away from him, but there's more to come. Right here, there's somebody in the back over here. Right here, I got you.
Hi, Riley Phillips with First Coast News. Were you hit in the face outside of the car? Yes.
I mean, the video is clear. They was punched in the face. I mean, outside the car. It's clear that he's punched in the face outside the car.
Yeah. And that's good. We invite the media, just like they did with George Floyd. It is good to slow down the video and go frame by frame and count the excessive use of force incidents on this young man, who only crime allegedly was he didn't have his headlights on and he didn't have his seatbelt on. Things that most people would get a notice to appear. He got punches in his face, head beat against the concrete, and a gun drawn on him. Right. That is excessive, and the most kind way of expressing it. That is excessive force 101.
Yeah, to answer your question, absolutely. He was hit outside the car. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So, you guys, it's clear as day that the cops were wrong. They used obsessive force. They assaulted this young man. He was a college student. Well, he is a college student. Had no criminal history, never been arrested, never been to jail, never been in any kind of criminal activity. They can't say he was a criminal, he was a thug, he was this and that. The man was a college student. The young man was in college. So what if he didn't have his seatbelt on? Road workers get tickets for that. Mothers, stay-at-home moms get tickets for that. Like the lawyer said, they usually get a note to appear in court, not beat up and pull the gun on you and bashing your head into the concrete, assaulting you on a whole different level, punching you all in your face. Like, that was obsessive. That video was hard to watch. I see why the mother couldn't watch it until, she had the full strength to really finish the video. It's a horrible thing that this young man went through. I pray that he gets every penny that's owed to him. Not that money, will solve all his problems and stuff like that, but at least it'll be something. And for those cops to get, to get punished for what they did, because that was wrong. And I don't believe that they would have done that to another white boy. I don't believe they would have done that to anybody else. But because this man was black, they did that to him. You notice it's always with black people or colored folks that they're doing this to. They hardly do this to any other race. I mean, they rough up Spanish people and all that too. But we the ones that get it the worst. I'ma just say that. And I don't care what nobody say. You ain't been roughed up by the police. You ain't been beat on by the police. Me and my family had a few run-ins with the police where they jumped on us and beat on us unlawfully. It was unnecessary. And it will always be unnecessary when this type of stuff is taking place. Okay? Those are evil spirits. We need to rebuke these evil spirits and pray that God serves justice for this young man and for people who have to go through this stuff with these crooked cops. Okay? So it was another video. Marcus Rogers did a video on this because he had a lot to say about this. He said, I was in the Army, and this right here, clear as day, is excessive force. And Marcus Rogers said, we have a protocol we have to follow before even trying to arrest somebody or anything like that. So he said it's crazy that the police department don't have strict laws like the Army do. The Army take more precaution on giving people chances and protocol on patting people down, get more information before they take it to that extreme level where they pulling out their gun, where they about to hurt this person. Like, they take more precaution on those things. So he was just explaining that, and I like how he explained that.
Reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason? Step out now. All right. No. Get on the ground.
Put some bike. Put your hands on your back. Put your hands on your back.
Can you call your supervisor? I don't understand why you're pulling me over.
Listen, anybody that knows me knows that I'm more conservative leaning. I am all about respecting police. I love this country. I proudly served in Iraq, in Afghanistan. All right, did about 12 years in the Army. I love being American, right? Even though I was born overseas, I became a citizen, all of that. But I think that we have a problem in America where people just defend their side no matter what. Listen, I believe that wrong is wrong and right is right no matter who you are. Now, I was in the Army, I went to Iraq, I went to Afghanistan, and while I was in Baghdad, they had us checking people at the ECP, and we had rules of engagement. And I remember a young kid came in, and they thought maybe he was a suicide bomber, and I had to go down there, all right, and I had fear, and I want to go back to my family, but there were rules of engagement. And it's sad that we have stricter rules of engagement for the military than we have for police officers and the United States of America. Best believe that I respect cops, the ones that do the right thing, but wrong is wrong. Now check this out. He's not complying. I understand why they want to take him out the car. So boom, they bust the window. Once I bust the window, there's no reason for me to punch him in the face. Now, if I see that he has a knife, I step back, I take my non-lethal, I say, sir, drop the knife. If I happen to see that he has a gun, I step back, I create distance, I say, sir, drop the gun. Once the window is busted, all I do is open the door, and I'm trying to pull him out. Now, I've got my weapon on my side here, right? So I'm trying to pull him out. Even if he's kind of resisting or he's kind of heavy, there's no need to punch him. If I can't get him out myself, I'm going to call for my partner. If he does happen to reach for my weapon, boom, I step back. Pull him out. Once we get him here, there's no reason to punch him. I can trip him, I can move him, and if you got about 3 cops, you should be able to take him down and cuff him. It's that simple. As a police officer, we're held to a higher standard and we de-escalate the situation. If you can't admit that the punching was unnecessary, regardless of what he got going on, it just don't make sense to me. And as I always say, I'm never going to blindly defend any bag of flesh. I don't care if it's a cop, a Republican, a Democrat, a pastor, a church, a denomination, a black man, a white man, a Jew, whatever it is. If you are flesh, you are capable of doing evil. You're capable of doing wrong. And so we have to take each situation on a case by case basis. But nowadays people are more, loyal to defending their base, and then instead of looking at the objective truth. In this situation, that young man should have complied. That's what I would do. That's what I teach my sons. But I've also been on the flip side of it, being in Iraq, being in Afghanistan. I remember that, we had LNs. That's what we called them. Local.
So Marcus Rogers, I agree with him. There was no need for the obsessive force. There was no need to bust the window even. But since they did that, there was no need to punch that man in the face. All the man said, "What is your reason for pulling me over? What is your reason for trying to arrest me?" "Get out the car." Bam, bam, bam. Punching the man, dragging the man, manhandling him, swinging him around like a rag doll. All 5, 6 of them, the cops jumped on the man, punching him all in the face. Y'all seen that punch to the face after they dragged him out of the car? After he got punched in the face the first time, after they bust his window, they punched him. After they dragged him out of the car, they punched him and was beating him up. They was trying to kill that man, if you ask me. He need to sue their whole police department. They crooked. And how many people they done that to? Like, for real, how many people they done that to? So like Marcus Rogers said, you're held at a higher standard as an officer to de-escalate situations. He was raising the circumstances in the situation. He was raising the stuff that he was raising the situation up when it didn't have to be all that. He was making more drama and hyping the situation up to where it didn't need to be like that. It was the officer who was doing that. The man was so calm. He was cool. Like, I don't know what. He was so cool. After even getting punched on, beat on, the man was cool. Had that been me, I would have been screaming, "Help! Help! They trying to kill me!" On everything. Because what else can I do? If I try to fight y'all gonna try to kill me. That's why the man didn't fight back. But he still got done like that. So yeah, I just hope justice is served with that man, and that he at least get paid for the trauma that he went through, which I know money can't solve that, but let him get something and those cops get punished. Let justice be served in that way, so they don't go around beating on other innocent people, whether they black or not. That is wrong how they did that man.
Nationals. And there was a certain way that we had to deal with them. It was called rules of engagement. And if you didn't follow the rules of engagement, you could get UCMJ or even a court martial. What you seen happen to that young man probably would have got somebody in the military in trouble. And so there was a situation where I was in Baghdad where they told me, and another brother of mine, go down to the ECP, right? And you got to check out, this kid that walked in might be a suicide bomber. And I remember walking down there, and I remember the feeling that I felt when I had my weapon, thinking, yo, this guy could blow me up. I'll never see my family again. But the rules of engagement and the discipline, I had to approach him a certain way. And I said, man, hey, open up your shirt, turn around, let me see this. And then as I got closer, I pat him down. I couldn't just go and blast them, right? And so it's crazier that we have stricter rules of engagement for soldiers in a war zone than we do, all right, for police officers.
And that's
Siri, how can I pay for my coffee today?
Tester app pays you to test new apps and games.
Police officers dealing with our own people. And so I understand both sides. Growing up in Chicago, I had like 4 different incidences I can give you with the cops. There was one incident, I ran out of the store. I just checked the ATM. I got my bonus from joining the military. And so I was running home. My mom was going to take me to buy a car. The cops came, hit me with the car, grabbed me, threw me on the hood, and asked me why I was running. They saw me running on the street. This is a true story. I told them I was in the Army. They started laughing. They didn't believe me. They had to take me to my apartment where my white mother was, and she went off on them, showed them my ID. They apologized. Another story, this girl was getting jumped, getting beat up. I jumped in to help, started fighting. Long story short, the police showed up. She was white. Most of the kids were white or Asian. And when the police showed up, they grabbed me, cuffed me, threw me in the back of the car. My brother's like, hey, he didn't start it. He was just trying to help a young lady and it's just, they grabbed me just off of that. I remember coming back from Iraq, sitting in my car, enjoying the view of the skyline. Police officer pulled up on me, super rude. What are you doing here, boy? Da, 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 right? Once he saw my uniform, his whole energy changed. I had my military uniform. He said, take as long as you want. I remember being pulled over in Kentucky for driving too slow. Cop made me get out the car, walked me to the back, had a dog barking. It was crazy. I've had so many negative influences, incidents with the cops, but I still respect cops. I still teach that we should respect law enforcement. I still teach that I believe in law and order. And in the same way that I don't hate cops because of a few bad ones, it's the same thing. If you see, a black man being a thug, being a gangster, that doesn't mean all of them are bad. Every situation we should deal with on a case-by-case basis.
I just want to say, I'm not trying to be racist or prejudiced or anything. I'm not even prejudiced, but I'm speaking on cops. And I only bring race into it because other races don't see it our way. Other races do not see it from a black perspective. If white people, you ask them, are they good cops? Oh yeah, they're just doing their job. You should just comply. You never been beat on by a cop. You never been harassed by a cop. You never been treated like a criminal and less than a human by a cop because of your skin color. So you ain't been walking in my shoes to make those assumptions to say, oh, you're over exaggerating. You should have just complied. We don't live the same life. And it's sad because it's the color of our skin. That's the difference between the two worlds that we live in. You think the cops good to us? Me as a black person, I don't think cops are good. I don't think not one. I ain't seen not one. Maybe a couple is out there. I'm not trying to call them all bad, but hey, I call it like I see it. I ain't seen not one good cop in my life. I ain't never seen a cop help me. I ain't never seen a cop help anybody else. But you know what I seen? That type of stuff right there. Including that treatment was done to me. I got pulled out and dragged out of my car and beat up on too. Only difference is they didn't punch me because I was a woman. But had I been a man, they probably would have been doing me the same way. But do I think there's good cops? That's including the black ones. I don't think there's no good cops. They all take that oath. Oh, when you're a cop, you defend the cops, the white cops that do wrong to the black community. Don't sell out. You're a part of the police department now. If I was a cop, I'd be making a difference. Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong for that. That's the type of stuff. What's his name? Chris Dorner? Man, he was in the military though. They did him wrong in the military. And he went out on I can't say the S word. But if y'all look up that story with, what's his name? Chris Dorner or something like that. It took place in Big Bear or somewhere in California where the man, he was in the military. He applied for some position and they rejected him or something like that. But it was some kind of prejudice going on with their system. And Chris Dorner, he wasn't being treated fair. And he said, okay. And he went to all like the ranking officers or sergeants. All I know, he said, I'm going to come for your families. I'm coming for your daughters. I'm coming for your wives. Like, he went crazy. I'm not justifying what he did, but they was playing with the wrong man. All I know is that man went on a rampage. He was unaliving these people, families. He did what he said he was going to do. He did that, and then he went like into the mountains, carjacked somebody, drove up to the mountains, was on a high-speed chase, and he locked himself in his cabin, and the police was all around the cabin, and he was threatening to unalive himself, and he ended up, and the police was like, if you don't come out, we're gonna burn you out or whatever. I think they threatened to burn down the cabin he was in, but he was shooting at police officers, he was sniping police officers, and he was unaliving them. All because of what took place at, I don't know, the military where he was at, which was some racist stuff. And I guess something snapped in the man, which was not right because that was a evil spirit behind that. Because anytime you just want to go taking people's lives, you know, I don't care if it's racist stuff going on, like with this man's situation, there's no need for anybody to be unalive. It's not that deep. Like, it's not that serious. You're not being treated fair. I'm going to have to leave it in God's hand. No, I don't approve what's going on and how I'm being treated, but I don't want nobody to be unalive. But this man, Chris Donner, he unalived these people. And then afterwards, after he barricaded himself in the cabin, they tried to smoke him out in the cabin and light it on fire. But the man had already unalived himself. But like, he was an A1 like top gunner sniper. He was sniping these people. He was sniping these sergeants and stuff like that. And it was like, man, they was like, he unalived like, I don't know how many people, like 2 or 3 people. Innocent people got hurt, innocent people got unalived. But you know what? I was like, man, treat people right, man. That's all I got to say. You don't know what a person going through. You don't know what a person going through in their everyday life. Treat people right, man. You don't have to be racist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that deep. But all I know is, what's going on with the stories Marcus Rogers told, even when he was in the military and got out of the military, he had run-ins with the cops where they treated him unfair too because of the color of his skin. Automatically assuming he's a problem or he's gonna be aggressive. No, y'all the aggressive one. Y'all the aggressive ones. Y'all the ones need to be in jail for committing the crimes that y'all do. So y'all, let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know y'all opinions on this video. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel, you guys. I'm gonna be putting out more videos like this, just exposing what isn't right. And let's pray for these people too. Let's pray for the man and even the cops. You know, I don't care for police, but still keep them in prayer because whether I like it or not, God still loves them, you know, and it is a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual matter. Let's keep these people in prayer because we all need prayer, y'all. And, you know, I hate to see situations like this. I pray justice is served for that young man. I really do. I pray justice is served for him. So like, comment, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Subscribe, help me get to my first 1,000 followers and my 4,000 watch hours. I'm trying to get monetized on this channel so I could be able to make, you know, my earnings off this channel because I put a lot into these videos and stuff and just looking up information. And I just want to expose darkness and bring light into the world like Jesus said we're supposed to do. So y'all pray for these people, y'all. Keep them in your prayers. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Share, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. God bless y'all. Jesus love y'all. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one. And go check out my other video, too, where I post a video about the man, too. The first video about the man where it all happened to him getting pulled over and he recording it. And it shows the police side where they cut up the video. They edit the video. They didn't show the part where they was busting out his window, socking him and punching him. They left all that out. But the man video where he was recording, you seen everything just like you see at the end of this video. You seen them punching him, beating him up. And they video didn't show none of that. That let you know they knew they was wrong. So God bless y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.